Christine, how much does it hurt the WNBA when Caitlin Clark is out?
It is devastating to the WNBA when Caitlin Clark is out.
I know a lot of us were expecting some sort of dip since Caitlin Clark has been out with injury, but I don't think all of us were expecting the entire viewership of the entire WNBA to be down. And this tweet from Christine Brennan really stuck out to me. She said one player gets injured and more than half the TV audience for the entire league disappears. Has any other athlete ever had that kind of impact on a sport? Golf without Tiger definitely dropped precipitously on occasion.
The WNBA is facing a serious financial challenge and appears unable to stop the decline of its growing momentum without Caitlin Clark on the court, once again highlighting how little the league has done to protect the very athlete who helped transform it from relative obscurity into the national spotlight. This is the story of a league that continues to undermine itself while its biggest star remains sidelined, and how refusing to acknowledge that reality is costing it millions of dollars with each passing day.
And the truth is the truth, and the data is there. And what we saw when Caitlin was out the last time, the 5 games that she missed earlier in the season, the WNBA's viewership dropped more than 50%. Not just the Fever, but the entire league.
In an era dominated by carefully crafted narratives and nonstop social media debates, reliable facts can be just as difficult to find as sold-out WNBA games without Caitlin Clark in the lineup. When Clark was sidelined on June 24th because of a quad injury, the league's heavy reliance on a single player became impossible to ignore. Now, history appears to be repeating itself as she is once again out of action for an uncertain period after suffering a groin injury.
Injury jumped to her groin likely because of compensation. But the thing that you have to be careful of is if, say, you try to rush her back from this injury as well, then you're getting into this territory where a very serious injury can happen. That is what the Indiana Fever, that is what Caitlin need to avoid the best that they possibly can. So if it means that Caitlin is out for 3 weeks, if it means that she is out all the way through All-Star, then so be it.
Nationally televised WNBA viewership fell by a staggering 55%, dropping from an average of 1.8181 million viewers when Clark was playing to just 847,000 in games without her. At the same time, Indiana Fever broadcasts experienced a 53% decline in viewership. However, this is where the story becomes even more astonishing. And by astonishing, we mean a situation that appears increasingly disastrous for a league that continues to avoid taking responsibility for its own mistakes.
Went down. The WNBA ratings have dropped over 55% across the board.
Hey, guess what, guys?
League is Caitlin Clark.
The league is Caitlin Clark. She is the WNBA, guys.
Sidelined with a left quad strain May 24th, national TV viewership has plunged since then 55%. Before the injury, the Fever, her team, were averaging 1.81 million viewers, almost 2 million. Since her injury, fewer than 850,000.
While Caitlin Clark continued doing what she does best, packing arenas, setting new television ratings records, and helping generate record-breaking revenue, the WNBA appeared to continue doing what it does best by taking little action to protect its most valuable asset. At the same time, the league seemed more willing to debate basketball plays than address situations in which opponents were able to target a player responsible for 26.5% of the WNBA's overall economic activity without meaningful consequences. What makes the situation even more striking, and for many, even more frustrating, is that a similar scenario has unfolded before. Yet the league appears unable to move beyond its past. On previous occasions, the WNBA experienced declines in both revenue and viewership after its biggest star was sidelined by injury. It is like watching someone touch a hot stove, get burned, and then immediately reach for it again, while insisting they never realized it was dangerous.
News is alarming for the league, and it's alarming for the league because this is such a crucial year for the WNBA. At the end of this season, the WNBA will go into CBA negotiations. If negotiations go well, then every single player in the WNBA has a much better chance of making so much more in their next contract. And that's one thing when you start thinking about how many people stopped watching when Caitlin Clark got injured. A lot of people stopped watching because they are boycotting the WNBA. They don't want to give viewership to any other teams or any other players, whether they like other players on the team or not, because of how the media and the league itself has handled Caitlin Clark and how they have treated her.
If you're enjoying this content, be sure to subscribe. The financial impact arrived quickly and with full force. Ticket prices for Indiana Fever games dropped by as much as 71%, with some seats falling from $860 to just $250. The sharp decline in the average ticket price for all of Clark's missed games, from $1,370 down to $80, speaks volumes about who truly drives attention across the league. Several road games that had been moved to larger arenas to meet the demand for Clark's appearances are now struggling to fill those same venues, which likely would have been packed if she had been playing. Tickets for the Los Angeles Sparks Fever rematch, one of the season's most highly anticipated matchups, dropped from $210 to $95. That game had previously become one of the most watched contests in WNBA history, attracting 2.25 million viewers. But without Clark on the floor, it turned into just another matchup that failed to generate the same level of interest among casual fans.
Really concerning about this is the fact that we are only a month into the regular season and Caitlin Clark has already been out with 2 injuries. With the first one being her having to miss some time with a left quad strain. Now, of course, this is concerning because if you're already on your second injury, you don't want to be that player that is always hurt. Cough, cough, Embiid, cough, cough, Anthony Davis. So I really do hope that the Fever really sits her out right now for a while, only because you don't want her to have more long-term injuries and be more prone.
Veteran sports writer Christine Brennan has become one of the strongest critics of the WNBA's handling of its biggest star. Her upcoming book, On Her Game, Caitlin Clark and the Revolution in Women's Sports, is expected to examine what she views as the league's shortcomings. After Clark once again became the focus of physical play from opponents, Brennan argued that the WNBA continues to fall short of the moment. At a time when more people are watching the league than ever before, she believes this is the image being presented to those viewers. Brennan's criticism is both straightforward and pointed. According to league statistics, more than half of the WNBA's television audience is drawn by Clark alone. Even so, she argues that the league continues to allow hard fouls and unnecessary contact that appear designed to intimidate its biggest star. It is like watching a restaurant owner stand by while customers mock the chef who is responsible for bringing people through the door.
Congratulations to the WNBA. Your ratings are going to drop by 55 to 60% once again. I believe the WNBA have successfully broken Caitlin Clark.
It has become an increasingly familiar and frustrating pattern. Clark is frequently met with physical fouls from opponents who often appear more focused on making a statement than simply playing basketball. The Phoenix Mercury were reportedly responsible for 80% of the league's 30 flagrant fouls committed against Clark, with 5 of those occurring during the 2026 season. When she pushes back against the physical play, she is criticized for being overly confrontational. When she chooses not to respond, she is criticized for being too sensitive. The league continues to leave this situation unresolved, creating a scenario in which no one truly benefits. Meanwhile, not only the Fever but the entire WNBA ecosystem continues to deal with significant financial strain. The league had already been projected to lose $50 million this year. Even after the surge in popularity driven by Clark, those financial losses continue to increase whenever she is unavailable. As attendance trends move closer to pre-Clark levels, television ratings decline and merchandise sales begin to level off.
As big a deal as Tiger was in men's golf, Keith, he did, and when he was gone, it affected the ratings, but nothing like that. And, Michael Jordan being out, maybe a 5 percentage points or something. Nothing like this. You can make a strong case, and I will make that case, and have that there is no one single athlete more important to his or her sport or tour or whatever the circuit is that they play on than Caitlin Clark is to the WNBA.
The most unfortunate part of this entire situation is that it could have been avoided from the very beginning. When Clark first entered the league, she carried herself as a humble rookie who regularly shifted the spotlight toward her teammates instead of seeking attention for herself. She handled criticism with impressive composure and maturity for a 22-year-old. The league had an opportunity to support her, protect her, and use her growing popularity to help elevate women's basketball as a whole. Instead, it allowed jealousy and internal politics to overshadow what could have been a celebration of the sport. The impact of Clark's injuries extends far beyond ticket sales and television ratings. Corporate sponsors invested millions of dollars, yet many are now questioning those commitments in light of the uncertainty surrounding the Clark-driven growth. This situation also highlights a broader issue with the way the WNBA presents itself. The league appears torn between establishing itself as a respected professional basketball organization and embracing the kind of manufactured drama that fuels attention on social media. It cannot successfully do both at the same time. Successful professional leagues protect their biggest stars while preserving fair competition. High school drama groups, on the other hand, often rely on controversy to attract attention.
I don't even know where to begin, man. I hope Caitlin Clark is okay. I want to know when this injury even happened, bro, because let's be serious here. She has the quad injury. Mind you, Caitlin Clark hadn't missed a game since she was like 19 years old, since she was like 18 in college or something. Now she has a groin injury. We've never seen Caitlin Clark play as bad as she played the last 3 games. Let's just be serious here. She's like 1 for 20-something on threes in the last 3. We've never seen her shoot the ball this way. I'll say that. Has she been hurt and playing through this?
When it comes to women's basketball, the contrast with other professional sports leagues is presented as both significant and difficult to ignore. What if the NBA insisted that competition came first while allowing opponents to target LeBron James with dirty plays over an extended period? Such behavior would likely be addressed immediately, and suspensions would come quickly after a flagrant foul. Yet the WNBA is portrayed as allowing this damaging pattern to continue. The league appears to operate under the belief that any kind of attention is ultimately good for the sport. Some WNBA fans have chosen not to attend other games because they no longer believe the competition is being officiated fairly, pointing to the environment they feel has developed from the league's failure to protect Clark. When your own supporters say they are unwilling to watch games without your biggest star because they no longer trust the way the games are officiated, it suggests a credibility issue that extends well beyond television ratings and financial results.
I admire about Caitlin. She's a warrior. She's tough. You hear me? Bruh, you just don't see players. You don't see female basketball players like her. I'm sorry. I haven't seen a lot of female basketball players, like I said.
The WNBA has been presented with multiple chances to change course, yet it has repeatedly fallen short, allowing the situation to grow even worse. Every incident involving Clark could have served as a warning for the league to introduce clearer standards for player safety and fair competition. Instead, each controversy has been answered with the same familiar explanations about basketball plays and allowing the players to play. Ironically, the strongest evidence of Clark's importance to the league has come during her absence through injury, the very outcome the league should have been working to prevent. A 55% decline in viewership is far from a minor setback. Even so, there is little indication that the WNBA has taken meaningful lessons from the experience. League officials continue to emphasize ideas such as competitive balance and the importance of physical play, as though hard fouls and unnecessary contact are simply essential parts of the game. At the same time, while routine basketball plays involving Clark are often treated as major incidents, genuinely dangerous contact against her continues to receive far less attention.
Lena, I believe the physicality and all this hacking and fouling that goes on, she getting blindsided by Marina Mabry. I think all of this stuff is having a wear and tear and an impact. And all you guys are doing are hurting yourselves, because the numbers are going to drop and drop and drop. And trust me, when it's time for that collective bargaining agreement, they are going to point to this and say, well, how can we give you guys all this money? What happens if she gets hurt?
The WNBA faces some difficult decisions about the direction it wants to take as a league, but the solution to this issue is not especially complicated. If it wants to be recognized as a truly professional basketball organization, it must begin acting like one. That means creating clear standards for player safety and enforcing them consistently. Manufactured controversies should no longer take attention away from the game itself. Most importantly, the league needs to acknowledge that its biggest stars, especially the players who genuinely fill arenas and drive television audiences, deserve protection from the kind of targeting and intimidation that serves only to generate social media drama. The continued decline in revenue, attendance, and television viewership following Clark's absence has become a sobering reminder of what the league looked like before her arrival and what it could return to if its approach remains unchanged. Without Clark, the league averaged only 555,000 viewers this season, well below the previous year's average of 670,000. Those figures reflect a return to the pre-Clark period, when many arenas struggled to fill seats and most games attracted only the league's most dedicated fans.
Because of the way they play the game, because I love the WNBA, I love the way they play the game. But we really watching because Caitlin Clark and everybody watching. Now listen, if I keep bumping her, knocking her down, might get her a concussion, you might hurt her for real. For 2 weeks, she was done with like a hamstring. She was down. 55% of the viewership was down. She comes back the next game, it's about 3 million viewers. Now let me tell you something. Growing up in the hood, they teach you this. Always protect the money. Y'all keep hurting her and all that. She's gone for a year or two. Ain't nobody gonna watch it. If nobody watches, how y'all gonna make and generate money?
The most unfortunate part of the entire situation is that it could have been avoided. Had the WNBA done more to protect and promote its biggest star, it could have used Clark's popularity as the foundation for lasting growth and long-term success. Instead, it has been described as building a structure that quickly falls apart whenever its biggest attraction is taken off the court. Until the league finds a way to support and protect the players who genuinely generate interest, it is likely to continue experiencing these boom and bust cycles in which the presence or absence of one star largely determines the level of public attention. The real question is whether the WNBA will finally recognize the importance of protecting one of its most valuable assets or continue down the same path until every opportunity created by Clark's popularity has been exhausted. Based on everything seen so far, there is little indication that the league is preparing to change its approach. Be sure to share your thoughts in the comments, subscribe to the channel, and turn on all notifications so you never miss a future update. We'll see you in the next video after you click the one appearing on your screen.